Bukayo Saka is an excellent actor. But can he be compared to Wayne Rooney? Want to contribute to the mailbox? Rooney is a generational talent. This is not a joke. I still laugh at the comparisons between Saka and Rooney and feel a terrible sense of familiarity with how the media build expectations around an actor before throwing them aside when it's not impossible. Saka is an excellent talent who will likely be an excellent player and have a good season. I can fully understand excitement of Arsenal fans for season and quality from academy. But please God, don't set expectations for the kid to become a 92-person class. On the comparisons front, Rooney was a generational player like Gazza. They took teams to a new level, able to do what others couldn't. Rooney England's top scorer until Kane scored a few more penalties. And the junior was almost done before he 30. Saka will not be such a player for England. Sorry. If you're looking at someone, it's Foden. But it's probably not him either. As for Rashford, aside from the context of the teams they played for, he and Saka are incredibly similar in terms of output up to Saka's current age. For me, I admit my natural bias is always Rashford, but Saka is a great player and it's great that we're both ready to be ruined by Southgate's tactics or choices for England. I hope Saka continues to improve, but rest with comparisons. Or maybe compare it to Henry because they play a more similar role and they're both Arsenal. And Henry wasn't even a generational talent. He was just an outstanding player. And that's perfectly okay. Bad Wolf 9 surprising statistics that show Bukayo Saka as Arsenal's starboy grade 89. Exiled Gooner is so right. 1989 eclipses this party in terms of the large number of young players supporting the roster. Interesting fact, and I may be wrong, but I believe Irishman David O'Leary was the only member of the 1989 team born in North London. Brian is right but also wrong about Leah's Lions winning the Euros and not the World Cup. In 2009, Arsenal gave the members a bottle opener that plays Brian Moore's famous rendition of Anfield when you open a bottle. This is the biggest thing the club has ever given. Graham Simons, Gooner, London, UK. Note: how can a person from Waterford get so angry? The most beautiful place I have visited in Ireland, and I have travelled all over the Republic. Brian's fight. Jeepers Brian Morrisey certainly looks like he's pissed himself off for someone whose team was at the top of the quad a few weeks ago. Elif I agree with your feelings. He is absolutely right. The current Arsenal team is nothing like the 92 class. Why can't Arsenal fans just enjoy what it is instead of adding another weird, cracked feeling that is obviously not necessary? It was in that means more category, which nearly all football fans consider to be the standard bearer for a clumsy, cracked feeling. Mcg Belfast Don't play drums. This drum has been playing for a while. Dear Ashburton Army drummer, I know you have the best of intentions, as did the Ashburton Army, but, please, for the love of all things holy, leave your drum at home. You're killing me, mate. Rarely beats to the rhythm of any song. In fact, our songs are often rhythmically irregular, with a tight drum beat only serving to conflict with singing. My head is throbbing from the incessant beating that, ironically, discourages any organic song that might occur. The Arsenal score is very relieved now because it means a break from the drums. Please don't ruin this for me. Watching Arsenal just has to be a headache for the opposition. Thanks a lot. Hotels near Simon, Norf. London. Gooner is Conte right? I feel it's easy to criticize the man over pressure, but speaking the truth for power goes along with his reputation. Secondly, I think it's a little dishonest to portray him strictly as a payee on his way back to the Mediterranean. Over the past few months, he has been grieving and losing 3 very close friends while undergoing a major medical procedure. Even the toughest people will have a hard time judging life and choices in such a situation. For a series winner in profession, When that evaluation process ends with Eric Dyer having to be regularly put in the starting lineup, can anyone really blame Count? It's also easy to forget that Spurs are still 4th on the table. It is also close to the best winning percentage of any manager the club has had in Premier League history. Whether he's playing sexy, or gegenpressing, or whatever contemporary term should not detract from prospect of being best date Spurs have ever had. The guy wins football games, and last time I checked, that's what counts. So instead of seeing it as a fail as a date, the club, mostly the players, should try to level themselves up. Clearly, he has too much personal integrity to allow for alternatives. Alex, are referrals underpaid? After reading your article on referee bias, an issue came up that I couldn't get my head around. Why is it paid so little? Yes, they pay way too much for that. Especially in comparison. Well, compared to football players? Their importance to every game cannot be overstated, and certainly a competitive salary will allow more referees to put in much more effort, and the quality of refereeing will definitely improve. When you look at the overall importance of referees in the game, why would it be wrong to pay as much as players? Not all players, of course, but let's say Phil Jones. We're talking about £300,000 compared to £70,000 a year. It's just a thought. But what if they qualify for downed gadgets like the others? If all judges stop for just one weekend, results will be enormous, affecting even most politically sheltered in country. It's just a thought, but considering they are well-known public figures important to the game, why not make this a request? You can find more players who don't make the cut, increasing the perceived lack of quality. This isn't expected to trickle down that much. But same goes for player fees. Although dizzying heights at the top are always target of those below. Why players force references in response will. Although he was quite right in the question of one single name that pressured the ref to cause them overturn a decision. Technically correct. It misses a bit. The decision not be overturned. But what it will do affect way most referees referee the rest of game. The referee will internally question decision, which will cause him to second guess himself for the rest of game. How many times have we seen fouls that were not awarded after the ref was pressured for a previous decision? A soft penalty for the other team after a contentious item. A player walks away with a yellow-red card because the ref recently gave him a card that players, even the crowd, abused him. This is human nature. There are many former referees